Welcome back to Live from Springfield, USA. My name is Carrie Johnston, and I am joined today with these two lovely individuals, Erika Lockwood and Joey Fultz. They are coming to us from Equality Springfield because in just a week from when we drop this episode, we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Springfield Pride. So if you guys each want to talk a little bit about who you are and what landed you on the Equality Springfield team, that would be amazing.
I am Erika Lockwood, and I am the current president of Equality Springfield. And I started as a volunteer, just ready to help, and grew from there. They can't get rid of me now.
That's perfect. What about you?
Joey Fultz. I am the secretary of Equality Springfield, and I got started with Equality Springfield after the first Pride. I just saw what they were doing and how fun it was, and I was just like, I want to be a part of that and keep that going. So
what does it mean to you guys to be going into the 10th anniversary?
For me personally, because I grew up in Springfield, growing up, I never thought there would be a Pride in Springfield, let alone that we would be here celebrating our 10th anniversary. So for me, it's just super exciting because I feel like it just shows how Springfield has kind of evolved and adapted to the needs of the community, and seeing that there are differences and that's okay, and that they're accepting.
They deserve to be celebrated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I was looking for a Pride to help with, and it came back to Springfield, and I'm from Springfield, grew up in Springfield, always want to see Springfield doing better. So I just joined, and the first one was 3 years ago, and just to see the joy on everybody's face is worth absolutely every bit of no sleep, worry, all of it, just to see people absolutely be able to have complete joy without worrying what's going to happen to them.
Absolutely. Can you talk about how it's grown over that 10 years? Because I'm sure year one, it was itty bitty.
No. I wasn't here year one.
So when we first started, it was actually in City Hall Plaza. There were maybe 15 vendors. It was very small. There weren't that many sponsors. And I didn't help plan the first Pride, but it was very small. There were just a handful of performers. So where we are now, next week, we have now moved to the streets on Fountain and High, and we will have 56 vendors this year, and it lines both streets on both sides, and actually total, and this includes, so there were different levels of sponsorship, and there were 111 vendors and sponsors that we were able to gather this year.
That's awesome.
And like I said, 56 booths of those things. So it's truly grown. We debated on whether we had to go to the street when they were reconstructing the plaza, and there was a discussion about whether we were going back to the plaza, and we have truly outgrown that space. There's just no more room. And I would say that first Pride too, there may have been 100 people that showed up, and now we don't have it's hard for us to get an actual count, but it's anywhere between like 800-ish individuals that show up at some point during the time. So it's exploded in that 10 years, I feel like.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's grown a ton. I remember last year the vendor booths sold out, brunch sold out. I mean, it's the place to be.
And we might not have had all the booths that we had, but we have more food trucks this year. Yeah. And I know the first year I was part of it, I think there was one. And so I think we have 6 this year. Mm-hmm. So that's grown too, which is very nice.
Yeah, and just looking at the sponsorship list, I mean, you guys have been celebrating all your sponsors. They're from every sector. I mean, you sort of expect certain people to support, and then seeing all the people that are supporting Pride, I mean, it just gives me a lot of hope for unity, for sure.
And the other thing is that it was a one-day event at the very first year. It was just just those 4 hours. And now we have 4 days of events. There's an author talk on the Monday. We have a kickoff party. We have Pride and an after party and brunch. So we've just expanded from beyond just that single small, which I think allows us to reach more people.
And then the performers have to sleep for a solid week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And anyone on the committee.
Right.
Don't talk to us until August.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy
I mean, you can
cow.
talk to us, but
Yeah.
we will stare at
Yeah.
you with a blank
Yeah.
look, and we probably won't
Yeah,
answer
you will be
your
a
email.
shell of a human being.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, already with Erika, she's been like, talk to me after Pride. Like,
Yeah,
way
after Pride.
after.
Yep.
All eyes are on Pride right now. Do you guys find there's anything unique with this year in terms of feasibility in getting sponsorship? Any pushback you guys are getting, or are you finding it just to be like a positive snowball every year?
I feel like this year, when we went into it, we were very nervous about what could happen. Across the country, tons of prides were losing. Some lost like millions of dollars. Some lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we were very unsure of what to expect. And we have been pleasantly surprised. A couple of our big sponsors had to pull out because of federal funding. It wasn't that they didn't want to support us, but
Right.
they just legitimately didn't have the funds to make it happen.
Yep.
So that was a little, heart-wrenching for us, especially because a couple of them have been with us for years, 5 or 6 years. So that was a worry going into. But we also added something called the Rainbow Level Sponsor, which is a $50 sponsorship, and it can just be a regular community member. Those have risen. We have a lot of community members who are stepping up to the plate. And as of our last meeting, we were only $800 shy of our fundraising goal.
That's awesome.
So comparatively across the board, we're doing very well, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's true. It kind of in the nonprofit landscape as a whole, whereas with grant funding and everything happening with just funding in general and the economy and all of that, I do feel like it seems like things are going further with getting together big bunches of small donations. I feel like, in things that I'm working on, trying to just get people to throw in a few bucks is getting us a lot further than some of our previous major donors.
And that's what we focused on last year. That's why we started the Rainbow Sponsor, because I was like, I know there are people that feel like they want to support,
Yep.
but they feel like it doesn't really matter. And it does. It matters immensely, because the amount of just $50, $25, $5, $100 here and there from people for the last 6 weeks has been a lot. So that just speaks volumes on how many people in the community actually want it to happen. And it's going to continue to take small amounts of everyone putting into it for us to continue to do this. You can't rely solely on a few big donations, because like we have realized, you just can't guarantee it.
Yep.
But you can maybe get 20 or 30 smaller donations, and it's just as powerful.
And maybe more so because
Yeah.
you're rallying so many more people to support.
Right.
They all feel like they've got skin in the game, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, and it does really, I think, build up that community, which is what we want anyways,
Yeah.
to have that community. So it does make them feel, like you said, part of, like they have a piece in the game and,
Yeah.
and in our success.
Yeah, we started a thing with the symphony where you could just pay your experience forward. And we have a table at intermission where if you had a good time, you can throw a few dollars in a jar. And our student tickets are only $15. So if you give $15, you've given a student a seat at the next performance. And that has, it's just a few $100 every time. But that's, a lot of seats that people are sponsoring, and it's a very tangible way to say, I want somebody else to have the experience I had, which is awesome.
And it's given it to a lot of people that might never have that experience.
Exactly.
Because $15 might not seem like a lot to some, but it's life-changing for
Absolutely.
others.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk, you guys mentioned your committee and how they're going to be just as exhausted as you guys at the end of all of this. Talk a little bit about all the work and all the people that go into making Pride a success.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah. So
Last year we didn't have as many,
yeah, last year there were about 4 of us who planned the entire Pride.
and that was a lot.
Yeah, and this year we stepped up we have 12 people who stepped up.
Awesome.
There was a lot of outreach to people that we were they're new to Equality Springfield. They've been in the area, and I mean, there are a couple people who worry about sponsors and vendors. They have to run the website where they donate in. They have to send out invoices. They follow up with it. There's someone who's in charge of volunteers who tries to get people to agree to come help us out that day. Equality Springfield is 100% volunteer based. We have nobody who is on staff and gets paid for it. It's all volunteers. So, we have someone who tries to make sure that we have people there to do that. I myself am in charge of the entertainment. So, I book all the performers for the weekend. We have people who are, there's a number of things we need, like the stage, the tents, booking the police, the fire department. So there's
EMTs.
Yeah. It's just, there's a lot.
That's another thing you guys are focused on, right? Is making sure it's a very safe experience for everyone. I see you guys talking about that quite a bit.
That's been probably, especially the last 5 years, that's been a very big discussion that we've had to make sure that that everyone is safe while they're there and that they're able to have a good time without having to worry about something crazy happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we hope for it not to. But
Yeah.
we also want people to feel comfortable, like this could happen. If the
It's better
worst
to plan
happens.
and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Exactly.
Well, and this is in the wake of Culture Fest being canceled
Yep.
because of different bad characters showing up in our downtown. So, it certainly hasn't. It's not a fictitious concern. We've definitely
Nope.
seen folks that probably don't agree with what you guys are doing, marching on our streets before.
Do what they want.
But you
Not
guys
going to stop me.
You guys work very hard to make sure everybody feels
Absolutely.
safe and you have all of the right protocols and people in place to make that happen, right?
Thankfully, we don't usually have too much. There
No.
was more last year. It was probably more of the what is going on.
Yeah.
But I'm like, just give them my number. I'll talk to them, or I'll not answer the phone call. I don't care. I mean, if you're harassing, they started harassing the hotel because the hotel helps us with our entertainers and, just gives our entertainers a place to go cool off during the day.
I was going to say last year you really had to be dedicated
Yeah.
to make any problems with Pride because it was so hot.
It was.
It
So,
was so hot last year. I mean, it was blazing.
yeah, and thankfully it wasn't much of anything. And we've got protocols in line of what we're going to do if someone acts up.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year no one will. But if they do, we have police, EMT, firefighters.
Yep. And you have volunteers making sure all that happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was really impressed with when I saw the committee list this year. Yeah.
It's so much. I feel like we can experience the joy of it, whereas opposed to last year, we were so busy that we didn't get to have that. We didn't get to experience much of the fun because we were so busy trying to make sure all the pieces were in place.
Every mom that's ever planned a birthday party can empathize with that greatly, where you put so much work into it. Every Christmas you wake up on Christmas morning and grab your cup of coffee and everybody's so excited about all the work you did and you're like, I'm so glad someone's enjoying this. I'm just pooped.
It's like, oh, that's what joy looks like.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm going to go take a nap now.
Yeah.
Yes. So you guys have a lot more help in place so you can actually enjoy yourselves.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm usually the one that floats around absolutely everything.
There'll still be
Might
a
not
million
be floating
things.
as much this year,
Yeah.
but definitely the person that floats around and
Sure.
There'll still be a million things to do, but it's nice to know that there's a little backup.
Yeah, that's amazing.
it has been less stress, which is very nice. It's kind of weird. You get used to doing all of it, so then when you're not doing anything, you're like, "Am I supposed to be?
Am I
here?
dropping the
Am
ball
I
somewhere?"
doing something? All right.
And some of the folks you've got on your committee, though, are
They are.
go-getters.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're all over it.
Pain is usually what I get to do.
The pain?
The pain.
Oh, the
Pain
pain
of the
I thought
bill.
you said the pain. I was like,
That too.
I call her the checkbook because
Yeah.
anytime we need something paid, I'm like, hey, checkbook, can you get us a check?
that's a very important job.
Yeah.
It is.
Making sure everybody gets paid
Yeah.
for sure. And collecting all the money though, too, it goes both ways.
Yeah, not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm like, put it back in the bank. Get it out of my hands. I don't want it. It's
I
not
don't want to
mine.
be in charge.
Nope.
So walk people through what they can expect if they come to Pride. If they've never been to Pride before, they've been, intimidated by the idea, because I know in especially in big cities, it is quite a production. And we definitely do it on a smaller scale. It's definitely more to me here in Springfield, a community event. We don't have a parade. We don't have some of those things that might be intimidating for somebody to experience. Walk people through what they can expect during Pride weekend.
I'd say don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared.
We have a lot of people that will stop after the farmer's market, and we're like, we didn't even know this was going on. This is wonderful. There will be, Springfield Arts is doing our kids tent, which is fun. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with them.
But there'll be a little craft.
There'll
that
be a
they
little
can do.
craft for them. Tons of vendors, entertainment. We'll have dance parties with a little bubble blower so the kids can go out and play and have fun that way. There'll be food. Definitely check out all our amazing crafters, vendors, dealers, all kinds of different vendors will be there. It's not, we have churches that come. We have the health board will be, the bookmobile will be there.
And lots of people give out swag. Lots of people give out
if you
free
like
stuff.
free things,
Yep.
bring
So,
your bag, you'll get free things.
I haven't told you guys this story yet. Last year, I went to Pride. I just said it was so hot. As you can see, I am a pale individual. So I swung by one of the tents who were giving out tubes
Yes.
of sunscreen. They gave me a whole box.
Oh, that was very nice. Yes, someone donated that to us to just be able to pass out. Was it 7-Eleven?
Yes, there was
Yeah.
the 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven gave us
literally gave us a box of tubes of sunscreen. So we have enough travel sunscreens. We're set for Kings Island. We throw them in our purse. We throw them in our pockets. And every time we crack up laughing because literally we walked by the tent and they were like, oh, honey, here's a box of tubes of
Ooh,
sunscreen.
you're translucent
Yes.
here.
Oh boy, you are going to get burnt to a crisp here.
But that's nice because we never really thought about that. And there's a lot of people that don't wear sunscreen.
Yes.
Until you are a Red Lobster.
And it is outdoors.
Yeah.
And I feel like too, being in the street, because the street is black, it pulls that sun in.
Absolutely.
So I feel like it makes it hotter. So it attracts the sun. So while you're standing there, and there's not much shade.
Right.
I mean, unless you're in one of the tents, like looking at something, there's not much shade. So if like you're sitting out watching the show, I mean, it's pretty much full sun exposure.
Yeah. And
So wear sunscreen this year.
yes. And if you need some, I have so many
Right?
tubes.
I think Equality Springfield still has so many tubes
Yeah.
left over too.
That's awesome. And the State Theater was genius last year because they were walking around giving out drink coupons and encouraging people to pop in there and cool off in between things. So that was really smart too.
I will say though, if we're selling beer, stop at our beer tent first.
Well, totally.
Before you go in the state.
Totally do that.
Drink a
but
beer
the after
outside
party,
and then
little
go
after
inside.
party action.
Yeah.
I need true shade sometimes, so we enjoyed that. But yeah, okay. So, talk about how if you're sitting here thinking, okay, 12 people. There's only 12 people on the committee. There was only 4 last year, 12 this year. If you want to be involved for upcoming years, how do people do that?
Join Equality Springfield. Come to our meetings. We'll start our Pride meetings usually in January. So it's usually about 6 months.
Can we
work.
talk a little bit more about we've talked about how Equality Springfield hosts Pride, but when we've had individual conversations, you've talked about how you want it to mean so much more than that, right?
Yeah, equality is equality.
Yep.
So I love the idea of being able to support other organizations and other good things that are happening here in Springfield. We're a nonprofit. Yes, Pride is our biggest event. We want to be able to host more events, so more donations help. But we want to be able to help, like we helped with Art Ball sponsorship this year. Our vice president is the first gay black man to ever host this event.
That's Kyle, right?
Him and his partner,
Kyle and Jeff.
Yeah, wonderful human
We love
beings.
Kyle and Jeff.
And that it means a lot to him. Then it means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
He does. We couldn't do this without. I wouldn't want to do this without Kyle.
Yeah.
His organization is phenomenal, and
He keeps us on
He keeps
track.
us on track and together, and it's amazing. But
We're very much squirrels.
yeah,
Where we have to bounce around to things, and sometimes we move before something's complete. And Kyle's like, "Hey, finish this task, and then you can start another task."
thankfully, because I need that
Yeah.
a lot.
I remember
So-
back in my corporate days, we went to a seminar and they were like, some people are ready, aim, fire people. And some people are like, fire, 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 fire. Oh, were we supposed to get ready or aim?
Yeah. I try to do the aim and fire. Sometimes I forget the get ready part.
Yeah.
There's always one lacking, but
Yeah.
that's what makes us great. We all have our strength. I always said my job as the president is to find people's strengths and let them do their strengths.
Absolutely.
That all of our strengths together is what makes it work. One person can't do it all. So if you find that person's strength, they're probably more likely to get it done and enjoy doing it maybe.
Yeah. So was Equality Springfield formed 10 years ago when it was identified that we needed a pride? Or when was Equality Springfield
It
formed?
was a few years before that.
Okay.
The first task that they did was had to do with making equal housing in the
Okay.
city. So when they started, you could actually be kicked out of your house, or if you were renting, if you were part of the LGBTQIA plus community. So they worked with the city council to make an ordinance that made that illegal. So it kind of started around that idea, and then
Crazy
it
to think that was so not very far
Yeah.
in our path.
It's not.
yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
13
it was
years.
yeah, it's insane to think for any reason. Beyond the fact that you're part of that community, any reason. So that was its original intent, and then it kind of Pride became its next thing, and I feel like. We've continued. We've done a gay prom. We have bowling activities. They've done apple picking. So it's Equality Springfield is just all about not only trying to make the city a safer place, but also to build a community for our community, the LGBTQIA community plus our allies, just so that for a little while you can feel safe and wanted and still have a good time without feeling like the odd person out type of situation.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
it takes us all. It
does.
takes all of us.
That's great. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about while you're here?
Well, I would say we have, like I said, we have 4 days of events. On the Monday, the 23rd, the Clark County Library is hosting an author talk. The author is Envy Gay. She wrote a book that's titled The Allies Bible. So it's all about how one, we can support inside the community, but also how people who are not part of that community can support, and what are some steps? Because I hear all the time from my straight friends, what can I do? What can how can I help? I don't even know where to get started. So this book kind of gives a starting point. So it's really aimed toward anyone who wants to make it a safer place. And then on Friday, we have the kickoff party at O'Connor's, and the doors will be at 8. The show will start at 9. We have a silent auction. We have 50/50. We have a drag show. Then we have Pride, obviously, from 12 to 4 on Saturday downtown. And then we have an after party, which will be at Station 1, and that'll start about 8 o'clock. And the Station 1 will actually be free.
Okay.
So
no cover charge or
there's
anything.
no cover.
Awesome.
And it'll just be the DJ playing some music, enjoying each other's company. Hopefully it's a nice night that we can sit out on the patio and just kind of chill. And it won't be as hot because it'll be nighttime. So if Pride is very hot, you can, chill and have fun just be around each other and have some music playing.
And if you're looking to see performers, you're going to want to go to Pride, or you're going to want to go to the Pride brunch, or you're going to want to
Both.
Yeah, or the
Or
Friday
the
night
kickoff
too.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the after party is for relaxation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So please don't show up to the after party expecting anybody to perform, because
They can throw me their money if
They
they
get
want.
to actually
If
put their
they've-
feet up for a hot second in the
They
middle
brought
of all the
tips
performance.
and they're dying to get rid of them. I'll take them. With
They're
no
definitely,
problem.
we used to do a drag show that night, and so many of them were like, let's do some ballads because I am exhausted.
Right, and they have
from-
brunch the next morning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
And you're in
that's
the
such an
heat.
intense
Yeah.
And
weekend. Yes.
You're wearing a lot of clothing, despite what some think.
Time to hydrate.
And yeah. And most people were talking during the after party.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like,
And
are we
it's
doing a disservice to our entertainers
Yeah.
who are now worn out as all get out? And then, hey, go do it again. But don't worry, no one's listening to you or watching you.
Right, yeah.
Because we're just talking.
And it's exhausting, like we talked about earlier, for the performers and for the committee. But every time they're like, I can't wait till next year. So like we take that time to recover, but then it's like, oh my gosh, what can we do next year to one up what we did this year? So it's rewarding, both from the committee and from the performers. And like last year, we had overwhelming positive support from the community. I mean, people kept coming to the booth and were talking about how great it was, that there were so much offered that they didn't even know that was a possibility. And like Erika said too, like people just randomly walk in, they have no idea what's going on, and they just have a great time. So it's just it's exhausting for the committee, but at the same time, we're like, we pulled it off and it was amazing.
Well, it's a very
It's so worth
enthusiastic and loving environment. So, I mean, you walk down the street and everybody's trying to give you free stuff. There's free mom hugs booth.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just happiness and joy.
yes.
That's it. Like if you're curious what's going on, you think something's going on that isn't on the up and up, come out.
Yep.
You're going to see a lot of happy people, a lot of people living their truth, in their joy.
And so many different kinds of people together.
So
which is
many
great.
different kinds of people. Like I said, you got religious, you've got non-religious, you've got business people, you've got vendors, you've got just people that stop by and we're like, we were at the farmer's market and we saw this was going on, so we thought we'd stop by. Great, you're welcome. Come in. There's no ticket price, so
Nope.
come to Pride. It's probably too late by the time they see this, but tickets will be off sale for brunch
Yep.
on Monday. So hopefully you guys got your...
I grabbed a couple this year. Last year they sold out before I waited till the last minute.
Yeah, you cannot do that because I have to give numbers to people. So it is
Yeah,
a
and I saw the post
hard
that said it was sold
cut
out.
off.
I'm like,
Yeah, and we unfortunately get a lot of people like, oh, can I still? Nope,
Yeah.
you can't. I'm sorry. This is the one time I have to say no.
yep.
No.
Yeah, because when you're planning an event like that, I mean, they've got there's space, there's food. I
I'm
mean,
not buying extras for people that aren't showing up.
Right.
We are a nonprofit.
that's right.
That is bad.
Yes, that's awesome. Well, I'm excited. I got to actually attend this year. So my husband and I will be there. Anything else you want to?
We still need some
wanna plug?
volunteers.
Okay.
Hopefully, we have it filled by then. But after cleanup, it's not going to be that hard. I promise you. Just help us. Many hands make light work.
Yep.
So get in there and come help me.
So tear down mostly is what you need
Yeah.
volunteers for?
And thankfully, the tent company should hopefully be there to take it down. But
They take down the tents. We just have to like clean up the streets,
Yep.
make sure the trash is emptied. We help any vendors that might need help loading up. We take down our personal tent. So it's not a lot. It's not like heavy stuff. It's just like little things and like
Just making sure
yeah.
you left it as good as you found it.
And if you go to
Yep.
Springfield or Equality Springfield's Facebook page, and on there is the link that you can go to sign up. So that is something easy that you can do. Or even that day, you were like, hey, I got 30 minutes. Is there anything I can help you do?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we won't say no.
we will find something.
I will not say no. Here's
Yeah.
a trash bag.
Yeah.
Here's something. If you don't want to touch that, here's gloves.
Yeah.
Yep.
We will put you somewhere. You can help us somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's great that you mentioned the Equality Springfield Facebook page. Definitely follow that, because that is where they post all of the events that they're doing.
Yep.
That's where they celebrate all the people that are supporting. So if I know there's a lot of people who want to be conscious shoppers and conscious consumers these days. So if you're trying to make sure that you know who's supporting what, that's a great place to find it. And if you just want to be part of again, that inclusive environment, whether you're LGBTQIA plus or an ally, there's a place for you, whether it's bowling or whether it's Pride or whether it's picking up trash. Or
we have a lot of allies in the organization. It's not just...
I would say there's almost probably more allies.
Yeah.
Which is, I find refreshing and nice.
Yes.
And you can stop by Equality Springfield's information booth and get information about becoming a member as well, if you would be interested in that. It's just $20 a year to become a member. So
$20 a year?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
wow.
It's not very
we don't
expensive.
charge a lot.
Yeah.
No, not at all. That's amazing.
And that like I said, that includes when we do events. Sometimes, like the bowling event was completely free. If it's expensive, sometimes we'll be like, well, we have to split it if you're interested. But a lot of the events we do are completely free, and just based on your $20 a year. So
well, and a lot of folks, especially in the city, I don't want to say especially in the city, but a lot of folks in the city, they need free events to go to as well. I mean, there's a lot of hard situations on a lot of fronts, and so any place where we can be inclusive and also it's not a financial burden, that's an additional blessing.
And I think that's nice about Pride too. It's like, it's not going to cost you to come to Pride. You don't have to buy from the vendors. It's nice if you do, but you can just come and hang out, bring some friends.
And
make some new friends.
I didn't even see last year a ton of vendors even selling things. I mean, a lot of the vendors are just there to...
A lot of them are just giving out stuff.
I came back with bracelets and
I'll be
so
giving
much
out
sunscreen.
stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Erika always has free stuff.
That's right. Well, and I also do real estate. So,
Yeah.
I do have my own booth. And sometimes it doesn't get attended because I'm doing other things. But it does exist. It's usually there.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for your time today.
Thank you for having us.
If there's any final thoughts you want to share, feel free. But if not, we just really appreciate you spending the morning with us here at Live from Springfield, USA, sharing with us about this wonderful community event. Our goal here is to just be people doing good, and you guys are definitely in line with that vision.
Thank you. We're trying
Yes.
our best.
Yes, that's awesome. So thank you so much. And stay tuned for the next episode where we'll have Chad and a special guest up next.